Thank you. So what are the overview of the topic would be, I would present a case and take you through the discussion about nephrotic syndrome. And in the end, I will show you an interesting case, which is a viral disease associated nephrotic syndrome. So to start with, we had an 18-year-old boy with no prior comorbidities and no history of family kidney disease, presented with swelling of both the lower limbs, abdominal distension and tightness. This is what, with facial puffiness, this is what we call as anasarca of 20 days duration. He also noticed presence of frothing of his urine. With increase in the surface tension because of the proteins, there could be presence of froth in the urine, and the froth takes longer time to clear. There was no history of hematuria. Hematuria is usually suggestive of any inflammatory kidney disease apart from urology issues. Burning maturation, there was no history, which is usually suggestive of urinary tract infection. There was no history of decrease in urine output. A decrease in urine output is suggestive of advanced renal failure. Abdominal pain, usually with respect to kidney disease, is usually a feature of inflammatory kidney disease where you could have pain in bilateral flanks or in the mid-abdomen. There was no infections in the recent past. Infections, especially staph infection and strep infections, are associated with glomerular disease. There was no history of jaundice. Jaundice is important because hepatotropic viral disease are also associated with glomerular disease. There was no history of addictions or allergy. Addictions are important because certain impurities in the drugs that people consume are associated with glomerular disease. Allergy, we very well know that minimal change disease and the other podocytopathies are associated with allergies. So the patient visited a local practitioner who rightly prescribed him, torsemide, 20 milligrams twice a day. With this, he noted an increase in urine output and his edema disappeared. The edema again reappeared when the patient stopped torsemide on his own. He came to us and we examined him. There was pitting edema in both the lower limbs, abdominal wall edema, sacral edema. There was no pallor or lymphadenopathy. His blood pressure was normal for his age. And the systemic examination was largely within normal limit, but for presence of ascites. So with this, we went ahead with investigations. The complete blood count was within normal limits, including the coagulation profile. The renal function test was within normal limits. There was an increase in urea because probably there was some dehydration because of overzealous diuretic use. There was hypoalbuminemia and the other liver functions was within normal limits. The patient had hypercholesteremia and increase in the LDL. The triglyceride was borderline. Urine examination revealed 4+ for albumin and for presence of certain fatty acids, which are suggestive of nephrotic syndrome. Proteinuria, the patient had about a 5 gram a day. The chest X-ray and ECG was within normal limits. The ultrasound showed normal kidney size. A normal kidney size means a kidney size of more than 9 centimeters, which is usually achieved at 9 years of age. With this, we went ahead and did a kidney biopsy in the patient. The diagnosis is nephrotic syndrome. What is nephrotic syndrome? Nephrotic syndrome is a symptom complex of proteinuria of more than 3.5 gram a day with hypoalbuminemia, edema, and hyperlipidemia. You could also have nephrotic range proteinuria. Nephrotic range proteinuria means presence of proteinuria of over 3.5 gram a day, normalized to the body surface area, but the serum albumin being normal, edema is usually absent or very minimal, and the lipid profile is largely within normal limits or minimal elevation of the LDL cholesterol. Urine examination is critical for investigating kidney diseases. more so in patients with glomerular diseases. In patients with nephrotic syndrome, they have more than 3 plus albuminuria. You could see lipid droplets or oval fat bodies on urine examination. Presence of RBC is specific for certain glomerular disease. Usually patients with podocytopathy or membranous nephropathy don't have RBCs on urine examination. However, a small minority, about 20% of them, could have some RBCs but not gross hematuria. In patients with proliferative disease like lupus, IgA nephropathy, membranoproliferative GN, do have RBCs with nephrotic syndrome. What are the causes of nephrotic syndrome? They are largely divided as primary and secondary. Primary means, a sort of more of a renal limited disease. Secondary is, it's a systemic disease with renal manifestations. So coming to the primary, it's FSGS is a commoner than membranous nephropathy. In patients less than 40 years of age, FSGS is more common than membranous nephropathy. In more than 40 years, it's usually the membranous nephropathy being commoner than FSGS. Then you have the membranoproliferative glomerulonephritis, which could be immune complex related or complement related, minimal change disease, diffuse proliferative GN, IgA nephropathy, and sclerosing glomerulopathy, or what you call as diffuse glomerulosclerosis. Coming to the secondary disease, lupus nephritis is the most common secondary disease, followed by amyloidosis, and then you have benign nephrosclerosis and diabetic nephropathy as the other causes of nephrotic syndrome, which are systemic in nature. Treatment and follow of the current case: the patient was treated with adequate diuretics, salt restriction, and high protein diet. Kidney biopsy was done. The light microscopy and immunofluorescence did not show any findings. The electron microscopy showed food process effacement, which is suggestive of minimal change disease. The patient was started on 1 milligram per kg body weight of oral prednisolone. After 4 weeks, the patient achieved a complete remission with a proteinuria of less than 300 milligram a day and albumin level being normalized. We tapered the steroid over 6 months and the patient is doing fine. So I would show another interesting case of, a nephrotic syndrome. We had a 50-year-old gentleman who came with nephrotic syndrome, had a proteinuria of 3.5 grams a day with hypoalbuminemia. A kidney biopsy was done, which was suggestive of membranous nephropathy. However, during the process, his anti-HCV was positive and a HCV RNA was done, which showed a high viral load. This was in 2015-16. So the patient was started on sofosbuvir and ribavirin, had a rapid virological response. So what happened after we started directly acting antiviral agents? His proteinuria began to decline and his serum albumin began to improve. So much so that at the end of 3 months of DAA, the patient was in good partial remission of his nephrotic state. So it is important that, you could have even viral disease, which could cause glomerular disease. And, treatment of the viral disease is the key for managing glomerular diseases. So the conclusion is nephrotic syndrome is a glomerular disease of varying etiology. Kidney biopsy is the key for diagnosing individual pathologies. A urine examination is quintessential for diagnosing any glomerular pathology. Supportive therapy, dietary advice, along with immunosuppressive therapy is the key for treating nephrotic syndrome. Thank you.